Okay, so today I thought we could talk through how to think of making a creative space for yourself, even if you feel like I don't have any extra space. So come on, let's go. All right, so we're talking about making a creative space for yourself. And one of the big reasons that I think it's fun and needed almost to make a creative space for yourself is because it's easier to create when supplies and everything are already set up. I think you can all relate to, like, ooh, you are like sitting there and you're like, oh, I kind of want to color right now, or maybe I want to create something, but you know what, I would have to get out all my markers and my paper, and where am I going to set it up? And by the time you start thinking about all of that, you kind of are over it already, and you just don't do it. Now let's say you have stuff set up all the time, like here, where it's like I have all my markers out, I have my colored pencils, my pens. So anytime I'm like, oh, I kind of feel like opening one of my journals and coloring for about 5 minutes, I can just stop and do that and leave it, and I don't have to get everything out and put everything away. So that's a huge piece of making a creative space for yourself, is having supplies out and ready for you whenever you're ready to create. Now I understand not all of us have actual space to set something up. Now you could do something weird like I'm doing right now and having a card table in the middle of my dining room. You can do that. But if you're like, I don't even really have that space, then this IKEA or Target cart is for you. So do you see this baby back here? It's 3-tiered. This is the one from IKEA. Over there I have one from Target. They virtually are the same thing, and I think they come in under $30. So it's not a lot of money. It's just putting all of your creative supplies in one of these carts. And then what I used to do is whenever I wanted to be creative, I would wheel the cart to whatever surface was open at the time. So if that was at the kitchen table, if that was at the dining room table, if that was out on my porch, they're on wheels, so I would truly just wheel my supply cart wherever I wanted. That's a great idea if you don't have any extra space that can be permanent for you, but you're not having to constantly get everything out. It's already at your fingertips just on this cart. Now the last thing I would say is if you do have extra space in your apartment or your home, don't be afraid to use what you already have. So I could have sat here and been like, oh goodness, I don't have a great desk, a cool art desk, to set it all up that looks perfect, so I'm not gonna do it. But what I did was, well, what do we have in the basement? And we have this folding table, this card table. I was like, great, I'll just use that for now. And it's okay to say to yourself, like, this isn't permanent, this is just for now. Especially right now when we're all stuck at home with COVID-19. It's the perfect time to explore and be like, you know what, nothing's permanent right now, so have at it. So if you have, even if you had 2 little side things and you could put a piece of plywood across the top, make that your desk. Don't get stuck in your head by what you're visualizing of being like the perfect art space. Stop you from actually creating a space that you can get creative at. So those would be my 3 things, is make it so you have it easier to create by having supplies out wherever you are. If you don't have a permanent space you can use, have a rolling cart that's filled with your supplies. And 3, don't be afraid to set up something kind of makeshift, because it's a weird time.